Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Men who are rocks. And now, this video was inspired by a video by the master teacher BGS on his newly started women's channel. And it was called 5 Things About Men. This was a video directed at the women. The link is in the description box. Check it out. I was listening to it and I was like, wow, this the same stuff I've said to women. You know, and in fact, I got a paid video coming for the ladies. I'm gonna emphasize for the ladies, where I actually talk about many of the things that BGS was talking about. Y'all check out the video. Like, I'm gonna play a clip, but I'm too lazy to like download anything that I could actually, download the video and then play clips. I'm too lazy for all of that, I'm just chilling otherwise. I don't feel like doing it. But I'll just tell you something. But plus, I want y'all to actually listen to the video. I don't want to rehash it here too much. But one thing that struck me, he was talking about, one of the things he talked about, like one of the things women need to look for in a man is logic over emotion. Men are 80% logic and 20% emotion, right? And one of the things in that he was talking about is that, a man who's using logic is going to be consistent. And he used an interesting analogy about a car. Because one of the things women look for in a man is excitement. They want these exciting men. But sometimes the man, all the time, the man who's going to be consistent, who's going to do right, who's going to be steady, who's going to be a rock, isn't the most exciting man. And in the video, the master teacher used the example of a car. It's not an exciting thing when you get into the car and you just drive and that it works and that it's steady. And really extending that to other things, if you look at it, men who are rocks, men who are consistent, men who stand on their word aren't very exciting. Does that sound like anybody? Or exciting to a woman? Because women being more emotional, they're moved by emotion. So the guys who can bring a bunch of drama and all of that and, get them moving and, excite them. And, it's funny. I was actually going to do another video kind of on that subject because, this is one of those days I check out some of those terrible shows because, trust me, I can get about 4 or 5 show ideas out of watching one episode of Maury. Or even my girl Lauren Lake, right? And I was thinking about it, you always had a situation where a woman, she gets pregnant by some exciting dude, it was all fun. But then when it comes time for that dude to want to raise the child or to be in a child's life, they don't want to be. And I find this interesting with women because the thing is, women want that rock type of man. I mean, that's the reality. Women want that rock type of man, that consistent type of man, that steady type of man. The only problem is they want that man after they did all the exciting and fun stuff. Chased around the bad boys or the players or, did all, got sold their oats. All of a sudden that's when they want that man to be a rock. Now, as I said many times, that guy they get pregnant by or that guy, they having their fun with, they want him to turn into that rock. But it's not going to happen. And I mean, this is a constant theme. I mean, if you really break down, particularly in the black community, that whole gender squabble, it comes down to that. The women want to deal a critical mass of women want to deal with, a certain type of guys who's going to be irresponsible, but you know what? They good for the good times and the fun. And then when they get older or, their priorities change, they expect those rock type of men to like still be there, to hang around, to want them, And that's if they can't change that irresponsible guy into a rock type of man. Now, here's the issue with that. If a man is responsible, if a man is exercising logic over emotion, if a man is consistent, these traits, quite frankly, show up in childhood. Very few men will go from one to the other. It happens, but it's rare. It's rare. And ironically, sometimes if a woman get a man like that who's all, life of the party at first, but then he becomes more responsible, more steady, more consistent, more quote unquote, like what many women would say is boring, then all of a sudden the woman's like, oh, I can't be with you anymore. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. There's no more spark. Yeah. And I mean, and this is something, I'm gonna tell you the truth. We're gonna go back and forth on these relationship discussions until we really deal with that. Because the thing is about values. It's about values early. If you think about it, if you watch, if you look at the media, if you look what's promoted in music, the guy who's exciting is promoted. Now, this is not to say that a man shouldn't have some excitement in him. I say as much in my books. BGS said it in his video. But it still has to have a foundation of being a rock. I'm gonna hit y'all with some deep stuff. If y'all easily offended, turn off the video now. But if you look at a man's penis, metaphorically it represents a rock. When it gets hard, that's a rock. That's steadiness. If you will think about a woman's vagina, especially when they're having an orgasm, it's stretching, doing all this other stuff. It's all over the place. But that penis is steady. And that's the same thing a man has to be. And many men are. But we live in a culture, I'm going to put this on the culture, not even the women, but we here live in a culture that doesn't promote that consistent rock type of guy who's doing the right thing. Think about it. Yeah, that's something that kind of fires me up. Yo, Calypso, Hammond, B3. Look, check it out, right? This culture itself, the environment itself has to change. I mean, that's the only thing. We're going to go be in circles. Well, in fact, if it doesn't change, if, the rock type of guy isn't celebrated, the consistent type of man isn't celebrated, which, I mean, it's just going to be just total chaos. And it's funny, if you really look at who wins in life, it is the rock. It's that steady guy. That's the guy who wins because, hey, that's the guy who's going to stay with a job or a business or whatever long enough to win. That's the irony of it. That's why women want them, but like after they done had their fun and realize the party guy ain't going to do it for them. They want the rock. And, but you got to think, it's like a whole value system has to change all the way around. And not just with the women, but with the men too. Because there's a lot of men, especially when they're young, they see who's winning. With the women especially, and they're like, well, shoot, why should I study? I can be that crazy dude. I'm going to get the women. Yeah, I'm going to laugh at that dude over there that's hitting the books. He's not entertaining. He's not exciting. I'm going to be exciting. I'm going to drop 3 or 4 kids and then expect that rock guy to raise them. Nah, we got to change this shit up. And I know I'm rambling a bit and all of that, but, after a while, you see what's going on out here, and you just like, wait a minute, something ain't right with this. Something is not right with this. When you have numerous stories of women leaving a man, because she loves him but not in love with him, and then dealing with some dude who's probably married or got about 15 other women just for a little bit of excitement, and then it flows into a bunch of tears for her. It's like, wait a minute. At some point, we got to look at the bigger picture. If you want to know why fish are behaving crazy in a pond, you might have to look at what's being dumped into that pond. And I mean, really, man, that's a long conversation. I mean, yeah, definitely media, definitely attitudes that are promoted, uh, peers. I mean, a lot of this stuff is supported. Now, what if you had something different, right? I'm just throw this out there. What if you have, I don't know, maybe TV shows or movies or something promoting that rock type of man, that classic man, music that celebrates that man who is there. Think about it. In all our religious, I'm gonna tell you how it happened too. I'm gonna tell you how it happened. I'm gonna give y'all some people who are really students of certain metaphysical traditions. They gonna recognize what I'm talking about. So what if you start just really promoting it in the education system, really promoting those people who really hitting the books and everything, alongside the jocks, or promoting in this whole social welfare system like strong families, instead of promoting the idea that a woman doesn't need a man. And that's how that whole thing with the Section 8 hoo-ha started. But I said I didn't want to get into that. All right? What if you changed it there? What if in the media, that rock type of man, the classic man, the steady man is celebrating, instead of being made the guy who, the woman's going to be a runaway bride from or something? What if that happens? What if in our spiritual temples, our churches, our shrines, that rock type of man is celebrated? I guarantee you'll start seeing some changes. Because it got to start from the culture. I'm not even going to ask the individuals. I mean, we've been doing that. And like I said, it got to come from both sides. All right. But anyway, I just want to throw that out there. Why don't y'all check out BGS's video, especially the ladies. Y'all need to hear that. He's giving y'all some real stuff. He ain't giving y'all that bullshit. And I'm gonna call it bullshit that some cats on YouTube give you, just telling you what you want to hear. Cause y'all need to think, if shit ain't getting better for you, maybe you need to hear the truth. So anyway, I'ma let y'all go on this one. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.